Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer. Welcome to Antiquing Adventures, where I share the treasures I find in thrift stores, rummage sales, and antique malls. Thanks for coming on this adventure with me. If you're looking for vintage items to include in your home or for a unique gift, but need to do so on the cheap, check out your local thrift store. Thrift stores get many vintage pieces donated to them and sell them for a fraction of what you would pay at the antique store. Also, many thrift stores support local charities, so your money is going back into the community. Today, I'm sharing a variety of vintage treasures I found on a recent thrifting trip, and yes, I found all of these on the same day. The first thing I saw on this trip was this colorful canister set with matching bread box. I do a lot of thrifting and antiquing, and I can't say I've ever seen a canister set that still had the bread box with it, so this is a special find. These were priced at $100 for the full set. A great price considering a similar set were the same price online, not including the bread box. This small vase wasn't priced, but looks very 50s with the gold and white flecks in it. Velvet brand pipe tobacco cans are common and typically inexpensive, adding a masculine feel to a room. I can see this paired with some old books, an old pipe, or even vintage eyeglasses. Here's a mid-century bar set to hold your scotch, gin, and bourbon in style. It's marked for just over $100, which is actually a bit high compared to the ones I found online for around $60. Of course, the disadvantage of purchasing something like this online is the risk that it gets broken during shipping. I'm not sure exactly how old this photo album is, but you can tell it's quite old by the cover and the style of the pages. What a fun place to display old family photos, maybe next to a vintage oil lamp and a small plant. Speaking of lamps, these lamps have almost a tiki kind of feel to me, but the shades definitely look mid-century. By the way, the 70s called. They'd like you to have a seat. And if you need something to do while lounging, try listening to your favorite 8-track tape. There's plenty of vinyl to be found also, but if you'd rather be more active, Debbie Drake invites you to exercise along with her and Noel Regney and his orchestra. What do you suppose this brown case holds? The answer? A vintage Bell & Howard 16mm movie camera. I can't find a date on this, but what an unexpected find. They have it priced at $85, which is a steal compared to the $295 price I found online. For your kitchen, how about these super 70s canisters or a vintage ice cream freezer? I'm not sure if this one works, but many times these old appliances do. They were made to last. This antique ironing board would make a great plant stand or maybe even an entryway table to hold a small lamp and your keys. Other vintage items I found include an old medicine cabinet, these Currier and Ives TV trays, and this incredibly unique hand-carved teak wood Lazy Susan, which the tag says is from the 1950s. You can see the detail and craftsmanship in this. They have it marked for $65, which is much cheaper than the one I found online, listed for $150 plus shipping. Last but not least, vintage clothing is a frequent find in thrift stores. On this trip, I found this smart lady's suit that is begging to be worn with a pair of these prim white gloves for the perfect Sunday outfit. As you can see, there were a plethora of vintage treasures to be found on this thrifting trip. Did you have a favorite of my finds? What's the coolest vintage treasure you found while thrifting? Share in the comments. Also, let me know what antique or vintage treasures you'd like me to feature in the future. If you like this video, make sure you follow the adventure by subscribing and hitting the notification bell. See you on my next adventure.